Shuaib alayhi salam actually said to them, he warned them and he gave them very good nasiha. I'm going to tell you exactly what part that is. This is in surah number 11, Surah Hud, ayah number 86. He said, Baqiyatullahi khayrul lakum in kuntum mu'mineen. He said, if you're believers, then the remaining halal that you've got in that, without the haram, is very good for you. Khair is much better for you than to take that little bit of haram in it. Because that little bit of haram kills everything off. And what it does is, haram money when it comes in, it creates people, it makes people want to have a dispute with one another. This is one thing established from the Quran. And I want to take this opportunity to say that because of the haram money people take, they become corrupted. So look at Shuaib alayhi salam. What he says is, فَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلِ وَالْمِيزَانِ. Be just and give fulfilling amounts of measurements. Don't cheat people. And when you balance things, don't cheat people. And then he said, وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ. Don't go and snatch things off people. Don't rob people. And then he said, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Don't ruin the land after it's been rectified. You know why he's saying all of this? Because once you take haram money inside you, you start to become corrupted. That haram money you've just taken in is going to affect your behavior. It's going to affect your mind. The first thing it'll affect is your qalb and your mind. Because in return of that, what happens according to Sahih Hadith of Muslim is a black dot is going to be placed onto the heart. The more haram he takes, the black dot, black dot, black dot, black dot gets placed in his heart. What happens is the mind starts to become corrupted. One of the first things that happens to a person who takes in haram, and this is haram in general. So it's not just alcohol, it's not just gambling, it's not just being corrupt by cheating people, but any form of that. In another part of the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jalla has said the effects of this haram. So this is the 7th juz, Surah Ma'idah, Surah number 5 and ayah number 91. So ayah number 90, Allah establishes about alcohol, gambling and so on, that rijsum min amali shaitan. It's a filth from one of the actions of the shaitan. So what happens is, when you trade and barter in haram, shaitan finds it very easy to come and sit inside here, inside your heart, inside your mind. Oh, he gets in there, he says, man, the guy's created me a DFS cushion and a sofa. Yeah, so you just created him a nice sofa that he sits inside, because the malaika, the angels, start to move away from you. That's number one. Second is, Allah said, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Once shaitan gets inside there, أَن يُوقِعَ بَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةِ وَالْبَغْضَاءِ. He will create enmity in your heart for one another. Now, what happens is, when one man takes haram and he's making business here, the people who make haram business slowly get to know other people who are doing haram business. Yes or no? Yes? It's very clear. The people who stay away from haram business, everyone knows who they are. It's become such a world. If you're an honest businessman, people know that you're an honest businessman. From far, Allahu Akbar, I just went to Palestine, and the same thing happened when I went to Bangladesh. These currencies, they exchange, you exchange your notes for the currency of the land. There's a lot of cheating going on in there. They know that their price is different, but they'll just to cheat you a bit, they'll put it up. Okay, if you want to make extra business, then you should tell people, look, it's this much, I want to make this much up. Why is it that there's one man in the whole of the town who's got two sort of, whole dinars or something lower than everybody, or higher than everybody else? Why is that the case? Okay, I understand they want to make business, yeah? But you don't make business to try and rip people off. There's an amount you should make. So anyway, in Palestine, when I went there, I met an individual. Out of all the guys who are exchanging currencies, there's one man who always has a lower price than everybody else, meaning that he gives you more. Bangladesh, in the heart of Sylhet town, in the heart of the Amburkhana, where they've got loads of these traders for currency exchange, there's one man there, people talk about him, that man, whatever currency rate he says, that's the real going rate, and you will get the best deal for him. But anyway, the crooks know crooks. Crooks know crooks, yeah? So, but the thing is, what happens is, if I'm cheating someone, and I cheat someone like, I cheat them 0.2 kg, and the other crook in front of me, he cheats them 0.4 kg. I get upset with him. I say, you crook. He says to me, who are you calling a crook? You crook? One crook can't stand another crook. True or not? They have arguments between them. They go, hey man, why are you ripping off them that much for? It's like, you want to rip them off. There's a man, you should rip him off. What are you talking about, man? You're a crook yourself. But they have competition. And then the thing is, he feels bad. When the other guy's ripping 0.4 and he's doing 0.2, he thinks, man, he's making more than me. So what does he do? He tries to compete with him. So he rips him off 0.5. Then the other guy starts complaining, hey man, you called me a crook yesterday, now look at you. He says, well, everyone's doing it, right? What happens in the market is people start, all the crooks, they have this thing between them that they want to do those kind of, they want to cheat people, because between them, now what happens is, if one crook gets into trouble, look at the crookedness. If one crook gets into trouble, then it's like the other crook will say, ha, you got done. Now this guy's going to hate him for that. Yes or no? Yes. This is how the enmity starts. This is what Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned in the Quran. This is one type of enmity, that's adawa wal baghda. So enmity starts between the crooks. And then what they do is, all these crooks, the biggest thing they've got in mind, why did they rip somebody off in the beginning? The reason why they ripped them off is because they wanted to make more money. Yes or no? Yes? So what they do at the end of the day is, they keep news on him, how much did that crook make, and how much did that crook make, and how much did that crook make. So the news goes round, and by the end of it they hear, man, he made that much, man, jealousy comes. Yes or no? Jealousy comes. And they think, he made that much. I wonder, what's he doing? They go over there to see. I'll give you a typical example. You know the Bengalis, yeah? Bengalis in this, because I'm a Bengali, I can say this, yeah? So some of my fellow men, they came to this country, and I don't know why, but one man got into the alcohol business. They all said, you know what, there's no other business for us except for alcohol business. I don't know what's wrong with them. Yeah? One Pakistani guy comes over, and he gets into cabbing. The rest of the Pakistani says, you know what, I can't do anything except for taxiing. I don't know. One Indian guy comes over and says, I want to open a sari shop. The rest of them say, I want to open a sari shop. Now there's something between those, in those people, I don't know, same as you Somalians as well, One guy comes over and he opens, what's in yours? A cafe, right? They all open cafes. One opens a grocery shop, they all open that. But I'll tell you one thing good at least about you guys, the ones who are cabbing and the ones who are opening these shops, they're halal. End of the day, they're halal. But unfortunately, some of the Bengalis have got into a haram way of making these alcohol shops. And the Turkish people are the same. I don't know why they made these 24/7 off licenses where they're just selling alcohol all the, so hours round. Anyway, look, I want to tell you about this. I know about the Bengalis. What they do is, and this is not just about Bengalis, the rest of them are doing the same thing. The crooks are all the crooks. All right? So what happens is that every week, the ones who work in restaurants, every week, every restaurant owner seems to know how much another owner made. And they talk about it. They said, got busy there. You know why? Because the waiters who are working, they talk to each other. And they mix with each other. So one waiter will talk about how busy one Saturday night was, and the other one will talk, and they'll gossip, and they'll move the information around. And that creates a lot of enmity between them, and a lot of jealousy between them. But I'll tell you one thing here. And another thing is, most of these Bengali sort of restaurants here, a lot of them are cheating the taxman as well. See, when you want to cheat, you might as well cheat everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So they cheat the taxman. How do they cheat the taxman? They say to the taxman, I've got this guy working for me. I'm giving him £45 for the whole of the week. Minimum wage. That's all they're saying, yeah. And the back of it, they're giving them wonders of money. So basically, he's really getting £250 a week, and on record, he's only getting £50. That's it. So what happens after a while is the taxman, come on man, the guy's British, I'm saying, He's the one who brought you over to this country. He ruled your country before he got you over. Don't you think you're going to start running rings around him? So anyway, what happens is that by the end of it, either the taxman gets them. If the taxman doesn't get them, you know the money that they made, and they've got this rivalry between each other, what happens is that they start to really fall out with each other, with the other crooks. Or one crook wants to get another crook by grassing him up. It happens. They grass, you know when the jealousy gets too much, they want to grass him up. They'll send the taxman over. The guy who phoned up and said, excuse me, not saying my name, no, my name more, but I tell you that man over there, no taxes. He makes £2,000 a week and no taxes, right? So they'll grass each other up. Or if it's not that, what happens is these guys in haram, they lose their lives. The enmity happens in their families. Most of them, I want to know today, please, if you can do this for me, yeah, I'll be really happy. I'll change what I'm saying. I'll do tawbah, yeah, that I'm talking about these guys, right? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. But anyway, what I'm trying to say to you, if you can prove me wrong, most people that I have observed, in fact, all of the ones I've observed, who are selling alcohol, they don't have peace. They don't have peace. You can have as much money as you want, but there's certain things you can't buy. One thing you can't buy is peace. Another thing you can't buy is love. Another thing you can't buy is trust. You can't buy these things. They're not on for sale. They're not on for sale. And if Allah moves away His barakah, and you've got shaitan sitting in there, he's never going to let you rest. So what happens is, at home, a lot of these Bengali guys, see, look at the lana, look at the curse. They don't see their family members for 6 days a week. They go out to work from 4 o'clock, they come back at 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. The main family time they don't get to spend with their kids. But they're giving the money. They give the money to the wife, money to the kids, tuition being paid, this and that. After 10 years of life, when the kids have grown up, father doesn't know son, son doesn't know father. Say, hey dad, thanks. Give me all the money you want. Ain't your son, mate. Ain't your son. The father tries to get the son to do something, the son like, what can I do? He's got no relationship, no love between the father and son. The wife, in many cases, doesn't know her husband. He comes 2 o'clock, she's half dead, tries to jump on her at 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like half dead. Make me something at 2 o'clock in the night. She has to get downstairs, make him some curry, give him some food at 2 o'clock in the night. Then again, she's got to get up in the morning, she's going to make the school run again with the kids and all that, right? And then he's up. What time is he up? He's up at 11, 12 o'clock. He gets up, just about sees his wife for a couple of hours, makes the shopping, whatever. 4 o'clock comes again, 4 o'clock. His kids come home, he goes out. His kids come from school, he goes out. Imagine 10, 15 years like that of your life, finished, ruined. And then, if that doesn't get them, you know what really gets them? La ilaha illallah. They basically get all this money, yeah? So, Allah said in the Holy Quran, الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَ. The one who gets his money, and then counts it again and again, counts it again and again, counts it again and again. See, that's what goes in their mind, yeah? They want to rip people of how much money, how much money, how much money, how much money. So what they do with the money is like, what are you going to do with your money? You can't hide it in this country, can you? You can't hide it. If you put it in the bank, the taxman will say, hey, you pay £50 to your employees, where's all this money coming from? So they can't hide it here. The guy can't even buy a house. If the guy goes to buy a house with cash, the bankers will say, hey, where do you get that money from? You know, where do you get it from? So what they do is, they send it overseas. They say, if I can't build a big house here, I want to build it overseas. So he sends it over every year. He goes, he sees his building, getting bigger and bigger, 5 stories. Oh, mashallah. All the latest gear inside there, AC inside there, sofas in there, TVs in there, ensuite, every single room. You look at it and you think, wow, the guy's got money, yeah? But the problem is, the guy can't live there. Because the guy, his heart wants to still come to this country and rip people off and make more money. And look, in haram, yeah? And one day he finds out, he gets a call from abroad, hey, someone's entered your 5-story building. What? Who's that? Some guy says it's his. Huh? Time to go. Nah, he's got a gun. Huh? He's gone. My friend, then he goes all the way over. He wants to get that guy out. Now he has to put a case down. These are real stories. This is tens and tens of stories in Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, and so on. There's tens and tens of stories. So he wants to go back, and now he wants to get this guy out of his house. So he's got to make a case with the government. Now he makes a case. He puts, a good 3 million taka down, which is like, might be about £3,000 or something. So he puts that down. Yeah, he wants to fight him. But now he's in another mess. You know why? Because a crook works with another crook. See that crook in his house? He's paid off the coppers. He paid off the police. He's given the money. Now when the 3 million goes to the court, the judge says, hey you give me 3 million, okay. Hey you, how much you give me? He says 4 million. So good, give me 4 million, the case is yours. So this guy now from this country has to give 6 million, 7 million. If the other guy can pull 8 million, 9 million, judge says, okay, it's yours. So he spends 10 million, 12 million. In the end, he gets his home back. Just about. For what? For another guy to walk in another day and take over it. And in the end of it, if that doesn't get them, the saddest thing about these people is, he did all of that. He doesn't eat his own wealth. He dies. He dies and some others eat that. All his life, he went into haram, ripping people off, going towards selling haram, trying to make more money. He made all of it, and in the end, his own family bury him, and while he's in the grave, he thinks, man, all of that. And some others come and take it and they distribute it amongst themselves. Right? So what did Allah say in the Quran? He said, adawa, enmity, baghda, hatred, fil khamri wal maisir, especially regarding alcohol and gambling. And then he said, وَيَصُدَّكُمْ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَعَنِ الصَّلَاةِ. Shaitan will stop you from remembering Allah, and shaitan will stop you from praying. Most of these guys who have restaurants, who have alcoholic businesses, they don't pray. Yes or no, tell me? They don't pray. They don't do the dhikr of Allah. They don't remember Allah. They're sucked into the well so much that the hearts become corrupted. So here Shuaib alayhi salam, in surah number 7, ayah number 85, he's saying because they cheated in the measurements and the balancing, that leads to the other corruptions. So what did they do in his time? They started a mafia. What was this? You had, the corruption starts in the marketplace. And when you can't compete with the corruption in the marketplace, what you do is you try and corrupt on a high level. If you want to corrupt on a high level today, see today the small corruption is going on the marketplaces. Whoever's doing it, I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but there's some people who are doing it. The bigger corruption is you become a middleman in between and you corrupt. So for example, most of these grants that are given out from the government, there's corruption going on. You know these roadworks you see? There's roadworks going on for 6 months at a time. Yeah? Contractors, yeah? Corruption, brother. We know it. It's going on. They know it's going on. It's called a white envelope or a brown envelope, or the new thing is a brown bag. The white envelope under the table, £1,000. Brown envelope, £3,000. Brown bag, £10,000. Yeah, give me the contract. A lot of these MPs, they've got people who are related to them somehow who get the contracts. And they get it because they're giving amounts under the table. And then what you see is me and you see 6 months of work, 12 months of work going on and on. Contractors being paid, hardly any work being done. Corruption is going on. But that's on a larger level. There's monopolies being created with certain amounts. People take them and they take them wholesome, and they'll only release it when everyone needs it at a higher price. One of the things they did, these corrupted people, is in Shuaib alayhi salam's time, is that they started this mafia tactic of taking 10% of anyone who wants to bring their goods to Madyan. So they were on a highway that stretched from Asia all the way on the Silk Route, the old sort of Silk Route, the Asian sort of route, all the way to Arabia. They were on that highway. So as soon as you came in Madyan, you were about to make big bucks because there's a lot of trading going on here. So what they did is they were on the roadside and they would wait there till passerbys came with a caravan of goods. And they would stop them and say, listen, 10%, give me 10% of the business you're going to get, all right? Then I'm going to let you go in. If you don't, you're finished. Either I'm going to kill you, I'm going to take your goods off you. So either they give him some money there and then, or they make the trade and they've got their eyes on them and they take 10%. Mafia work in the same way. They go to certain businesses, they say, give us an amount to protect you. Who called you in the first place protection? They come, they say, I'm going to protect you, so I'm going to take an amount off you. And if you don't give it, obviously they're going to ruin your business. They'll either flame it, they'll either destroy it with a flame, they'll kill it off in one way or another. And you're obliged to give that. Now if you go to the police, you're a dead man. Because they'll get you. They'll come after you once they find out, because half the police get corrupt. Now what happens in these societies is that when corruption prevails, it goes from one to another, and it corrupts the entire system. Judges become corrupted. Police become corrupted. Right? And it spreads. And the police who don't take bribes, they themselves are sidelined. They're sidelined. Now there are good policemen out there in these countries who don't take bribes. There are good judges who don't take bribes. And I've met some of them who won't take bribes off you. But la ilaha illallah, those of them that take bribes, like soon you're in a country that you can't even live peacefully. Like in Bangladesh, I've just come now, back from Bangladesh. You've got a car, everything's okay with the car. Your MOT's passed, everything. You've got your license, you've got the whole car, top to bottom, everything's working. And the police stop you. And they start looking at your car with a torchlight, they start looking at it. Where's your papers? So you give the papers, they're like looking at your papers and that. Say, look, something's not right, something's not right. All they want you to do is pull out 100 taka or 200 taka and give it to him. If you give him 100 taka, he's go. If you don't give him 100 taka, 200 taka, he'll carry on looking at your car, he'll say, it's not right. It's not right. The wheel doesn't look right. So you say, look, the wheel is looking right. It's not looking right. If you say, look, it's looking right, man, I'm telling you, I just changed it right now, what's wrong with it? Say, oh, so you're showing your attitude to me, huh? That's it. He's going to file in the papers, forget your car, he's going to now say, you insulted a police officer. So you've got to try and give him something. Now there's a few police out there that won't be that corrupted, who won't do that with you. But a lot of them are corrupted. And forget him being corrupted. I said over there, I said, listen, that guy's corrupted. What about his senior? They said, senior? They laughed at me. I said, what do you mean? He said, the senior has told the police under him, he's told all of his police force, he said, I don't care what you do, yeah. By the end of the day, I want this many thousand taka for myself. He's given them a target for himself. He said, I want this amount. Before they even started. He said, you can do what you want, but I want this many thousand taka for myself. I said, come on, man. I said, come on. What about the MPs? Can you go and talk to the MPs? And they laughed at me. They said the MP of the district has told the main police headquarters, I don't care what you do, I want this many millions for myself. The MPs already told them, I want this much. If I get this much, you're safe. I don't care what happens, you're safe. And the guy below you, he's safe. And he's telling to the guy below them, you're safe. As long as they give their cut to the guy above. And that's how it happens. So corruption is something that, and Allah says, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ Don't corrupt the earth after it's been amended, because the corruption wasn't there from beforehand. ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ That is better for you if you are believers. If you are believers. So now, Shuaib alayhi salam was trying to get them to stop their corruption. And there were people who were corrupted because of their wealth. And there's going to be many different conversations that take place between them. There's threats and other things that take place. Inshallah, in the next few sessions, we're going to discover these with that. Jazakumullah khair. I'll see you next week, inshallah, after Isha. Wa akhir da'wana, alhamdulillah.